swelling here and there, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's really
now, joining us now is the President Nigeria Pitch Awards, Shina Phillips. Shina, good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you.
My pleasure.
Right. Yeah. And we have as well the FIFA licensed player agent, Friday Nwankwo Kujah. He is also the promoter, Kick to Glory. Friday, good morning.
I'm happy to be here.
And today is Friday.
Yeah, my day.
Okay, Shina, let's start it this way.
Yes.
First of all, give us, we are seeing a new trend now. A lot of people, not just Nigerians, even big names in Brazil, heading for China. What is that special thing in China? Can you give us that background?
Okay, well, what China is doing right now is not anything strange in football, in football world. Dubai tried it. Qatar tried it, but the long-time effect is what we hope to see. But the Chinese are going about a 50-point strategy. It's not just about spending money looking for the big names. What they are doing is basically strategic, aimed at, four major points, four cardinal points. One, to improve the domestic league. Secondly, they need international success. Thirdly, they are concerned about social reform. And then fourthly, they are creating business opportunity for a lot of people out there through football. And the president himself, being an avid sport lover, avid football lover,
President Xi
Jinping, actually instructed the vice president with a group of committee to see to this plan and ensure that China in 2020, come 2030, will become the best in Asia, and then come 2050 will be apparently the best in the world. Wow. And so they are putting in so much money. The program is geared also towards physical fitness in China. They discovered from a survey carried out, from statistics, that 31% of urban residents in China are quite interested in football. And so the government, is creating that environment, to enable, the environment that will enable businessmen, that like the owners of Alibaba and the others, to bring in money and begin to invest in the local league, and at the same time, capture the very best names out there in the world, to encourage followership in China. So it's a well laid out plan.
So it's not just a case of, sports for sports sake.
No.
It's far more than that.
In fact,
it's going to affect business, it will affect society,
yes.
affect everything.
Everything. In fact, the plan is that by 2020, there should be about 20,000 training pitches across China, that for every 10,000 Chinese, you definitely have to look for you have a training center available for you for fitness purposes.
Let me bring in Friday here. Yeah. There are those who fear that China may just be taking over football globally, and the entrance or the incursion of China into football may just spell doom for football everywhere.
Yeah, in football, first, you talk about skill and ability of the player to play. The image of the player matters. Then you're talking about money counts. In China, what China is doing, like Sina said, they want to create awareness. Not only say they are aiming to be the best country that produces the best player in the world or the best national team in the world. In their team, each team in China have a factory, and before each player arrives, a product will be named in the name of the big player. Before making Obi arrive China, don't be surprised that they make billions of dollars. They know what to use player to make, not only play in the field. People are surprised at the kind of money they are calling. You understand? But they are talking about how to make money, image, and the country, and telling the whole world, if so person can be here,
then
who are you?
You can
Exactly.
To come and do business, to come and stay, live here and everything. Okay. There are no players have tests. Top players, before you see them, it's very hard. but to make it available to their fans and everything.
Okay.
And another one is that...
So people moving into China is in other words, they're endorsing China.
They are endorsing China for
Okay.
everything they do.
Okay.
Because people see China as a negative something, producing something that is...
so
Let's put you on-
that perception is going to change now.
Yeah.
All right, let's put you on hold. Reports just reaching us saying that the presidential jet has landed, has touched down in Kaduna as we speak, and reporters are on ground. Security is very tight around the airport in Kaduna, and we're getting that report right now. We're certainly going to follow up that to give you updates.
Absolutely. Of course, our reporter Tessa Makende is on ground in Kaduna, and he'll be giving us all the latest about the president's much awaited arrival. Remember, the president did leave the country January 19 for holiday. Of course, that was extended a couple of times, and many Nigerians have been reacting differently based on the shroudedness that seems to have covered the president's health status. But thankfully, all of that may be laid to rest in the next couple of hours as we get this news about the president's arrival.
Yeah, when we spoke with our correspondent earlier on, we were asking some question, and the concern from reporters and correspondents there talks about the issue of information management. There is this confusion as to, is he going to land in the Kaduna airport or is he going to land at the Air Force Base? And they left. In fact, he was scheduled to land at the Kaduna airport. All reporters gathered, and then the information came, no, he's not going to land there again. It's going to be Air Force Base, and they all had to move again. So as it is right now, people are confused as to where he's landed. But a report just reaching us now say he has touched down at the Kaduna airport as we speak. But certainly we'll get you visuals of that as we get along, and reporters are on ground to cover that development so we can let you know. And Nigerians are still expressing concern about how managing proper information. We've had this kind of things in the past where Nigerians would certainly like to know. So there should be a way of beating that so we get things better. But let's go on a break and then we come back to dwell more. We're talking about China being the new destination for football and not just business right now. Stay with us.
All right, well, welcome back. It's TVC Breakfast. We're looking at China as the new destination for not only Nigerian footballers, but for footballers
World football
everywhere, and including football managers too. Quite a number of top football managers already in China. Well, some would say that, look, there's no retirement plan for Nigerian footballers anyway. And if China is ready to pay the bills, pay them big money, why not? Why not? Shino Phillips is president of Nigeria Pitch Awards and a FIFA agent. He's one of our guests. And Friday, Nwankwo Kujah, Kick to Glory. That's the body he belongs to. And he's also a FIFA licensed player agent. Thanks for remaining with us, gentlemen. Well, Stephen Keshi started this exodus in the 80s to Europe. Those days it used to be Belgium, but now it looks like China is the new Belgium. Okay, so what's wrong with Nigerian footballers plying their trade in China? Take Mikel Obi, for example, who's played with Chelsea for about 10 years. For a long time, he's actually been benched, and his skills getting eroded. And some would say, look, it's better for him to go to China, make the money, I think 600 and something thousand pounds a week. That's enough money to make you want to go into football.
We can. I'll be your trainer, I'll be your agent, I'll be your manager, I'll be your everything.
Too late.
Well, first we need to understand the game of this game of football. I mean, for any player who is really worth, a nation's pride, you need to know where the exact location to ply your trade at certain point. I mean, you can't have the very best of our national team players playing in China. I mean, you expect them to be in the top leagues. The only thing, taking any player down there is the money. And if you are really at the top of your game, you will not want to sign any contracts, sign a contract in Dubai or Qatar.
Or any of those places.
Or any of the places. So we see, you know, when the player is at certain level and he's dropping, you know, his agent begins to negotiate him out to want to sell him to those areas. But for a nation, you want the very best of your players to play in the prime league, to play in the most competitive leagues.
Okay. All right, Shina, we'll come back to this. Let's go for the news updates before we come back to ask Friday Nwankwo other questions in here. Stay with us on TVC Breakfast.
All right, you're welcome back. Let's quickly bring in Fola to give us what the people are saying. Fola Dele.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
Morning.
Good morning, Friday. Good morning, Shina. Okay, oh, the football's gone.
Yeah.
You know, I used to be a really good football player. Yeah, I was a really good defender
Oh, great.
back in my
Tell
day.
me about
Wow.
Yes.
Good.
I'll tell you about it after. But let's see what people are telling us about online. Okay. Paul Murphy says, seems footballers are either going to China or Waterford nowadays. LJ says, greedy footballers heading to China for that wafer-thin mint. Jerry Walters says, footballers, coaches, and now referees quit to make big bucks in China, Saudi, or Qatar. I'm also quitting as a gunner to join Al Ain. Unsigned Act says, an elephant's graveyard where these giant mammals go to die. China, where another kind of mammal, worn-out footballers also go to die. CRN says, I can understand footballers going to China for money. First and foremost, it's a career. I don't like it, but I understand it. Bish says Rooney will have made a bad decision to go to China. Unlike the greedy Africa footballers, China should be the last resort, not the first. And the last one here from James Obunaye says, now that there is a massive flow of Niger footballers to China, the Super Eagles should henceforth be referred to as Super China. Friday. So there seems to be a theory here that, you know, China is where you go when your career, your football career is nearing the end. What do you think about that?
Like pension.
Yes, exactly. What do you think about that? I mean, is that necessarily true? I mean, look at Drogba. He did go to China at some point, if my football knowledge memory serves me correctly, yes. But, I mean, he's still considered a pretty good player. So, do you think that
China,
applies?
you just find somewhere to be keeping your feet.
And
So
get
you don't
paid
think
too,
about
don't you?
the top playing club again.
How about you, Chino? Do you agree with that theory?
Well, I do not see it just as a retirement camp.
Yeah.
The truth is, like they expressed, someone expressed with respect to greed and all of that, you know, these players really want to make money. Especially for Nigerian players, if you look at even the trend right now, you know, a lot of players want to go out there, not because they love the game, not because they are very passionate about the game. They just want to make money. And that's why you see that even fraudsters have come into the business in the name of agents, you know, and are actually defrauding a whole lot of families. And the truth is that way back, we used to have, you know, Nigerians, our players used to have very deep interest in football. They were passionate about it. They were not really keen on making money. And that's why the 1994 squad was just a spectacular squad. You know, and our football was fashioned, you know, just in the manner, they fashioned our football to look like Brazilian football. So it was a game loved by all, played by all, and the fans were thinking alike. But these days, it's about the money. So if you would see it as a retirement camp, yes.
Yeah, you would be correct. Okay.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, Friday, we're almost rounding off, but certainly let me ask, in this regard, as players are heading to China, and especially for a country like Nigeria that we have lost, like you mentioned, the squad, the 1994 squad that eventually gave us the Olympic 96 Olympic medal. After that, after France 98, we didn't really see anything. It was now we have generally average players. How will this impact on our football going forward?
Yeah, that's why we start invest more on the youth. A country like Nigeria that has ruled the world under 17 5 times. No country ever that back to back, and we don't produce a sound national team from there. So we continue getting it wrong. how do you get it right now? As some are moving to China, as some, just like there's a primary 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're supposed to have team A, team B, team C, team this.
Until you
you
get
don't
to the
wait
professional
when
level.
JJ and others move before you go. We have somebody to challenge them, to play more than them, to think about. We think about that. When we have that program, we conquer.
And I think we should borrow lead from the Chinese.
We'll have to leave it there.
All right.
No.
Being strategic for a long period of
from the
time.
Chinese.
I understand you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Friday One Call Kujah, thank you for coming on the program now. And Shana Phillips.